Journey into Unreality with Angels, a book of Eleonora Harriel. Preface. For several years now, I have been in contact with a group of souls that I call angelic entities. I receive from them, with a conversation that takes place at the brain level, information that has made me psychic of a reality that is completely different and indescribable with the current structures of our language. For this reason, I find it quite difficult to talk about it with those who do not share such an experience with me. I find it natural to apply these gifts of celestial information to my own person, with consequences that are nothing short of exceptional, in that I have always and without purpose some desired good, simply out of a sense of global union. I do not know why I was chosen, but I can assure you that only the various angelic contacts succeeded in making clear to me all the right interpretations of the parables of Christ Jesus, which I had not understood until then, but which for the sake of this true man, because divine in every respect, I desired to understand and develop inwardly. Certainly at the beginning of this experience, I felt really in crisis and did not believe that everything was real. So I started to modify my thoughts and did a lot of individual work first, since I was very far from understanding the explanations that were being given to me, which I had never found in any book. I began my research with skepticism, but soon realized that these were great truths, and tried day by day to savor all the flavor and joy that followed, because I felt myself instructed directly from within and in the direction of my own heart. To this day, I have received information about a method of collaboration that is being formed between humans and angels. This will be indispensable work for our evolution on Earth from a material and spiritual point of view, leading us to change the various levels of consciousness for a better awareness of the new reality we are embracing. Many have already been contacted, prompted to open their eyes. Very few, however, have responded with sincerity to the humanitarian work in the company of the angels. As has already been written in the Bible and other prophetic texts, it will be the prayers of a few that will save humanity whose beginning coincides with the birth of Christ Jesus on this earth. Finally, now I know the secret of knowing how to live in this world, but away from the world, and so many other needs to learn to be truly united with deeds and no longer with words alone. The angels or angelic entities urge us to embark on a sincere path of awakening so that we can demonstrate by our behavior the real conversion toward God, toward a more heartfelt cooperation. As I go on in my work, I realize the veracity of the various angel-guided experiences and am happy to serve humanity in this way. Those who know me superficially regard my lifestyle as crazy by considering me an idealist, but I can assure you that to be crazy, as positive as I am, is to live and not to die. As I have already anticipated to you, it is not possible for me to explain in clear words all the revelations that are tremine to me, because they would turn out to be incomprehensible, and when I have done so, I have always had poor feedback. Jesus himself used to mention parables, so that those who wanted to understand could do so freely by meditating. His example made me realize that not everyone is ready, and that conversely, those who have received the gift of understanding are responsible to themselves and to all of society. It is precisely because of this sense of responsibility that I have come to the decision not to keep everything for myself. I intend to donate to those who are in search of their own individuality and in any case of a point of reference. My knowledge, the fruit of an ongoing commitment to study, which is essential to be able to undertake a voluntary spiritual path, to be able to live it practically and not only theoretically. Each of us has very specific tasks, as no one could be able to do everything humanly speaking, but we can also do a great deal if we learn to distribute our research with the relevant awareness, like so many flowers to be given, so that everyone can breathe in the fragrance of newness. Therefore, while others are already moving to spread and develop their personal messages, I am working to help exercise the necessary daily listening practices suitable for the acquisition of the concepts of awareness, forgotten in the depths of every being. Before we have to judge anything impossible or only the faculty of a few, I am convinced that we are all capable of practicing forms of self-healing and then helping others in the awakening of these potentials. It all depends solely on us, our common sense and willpower, to go all the way through each kind of experience. A brotherhood between humans and angels can be implemented simply when human beings begin to work on these two fundamental aspects: the human part, which is represented by the material world, and the divine part, which is the spiritual part where man's true strength absolutely resides. As a psychic, I have felt for several years now the need to see things with different eyes. I can assure you that by improving our awareness, we would have direct benefits on our overall psychophysical state. Do not delude yourselves. Love is the only reality that exists in all these infinite worlds that we ourselves can create. The real quest absolutely lies in that spark of divine love that we all possess, bar none. We can learn so many things and then put them into practice, but if we do not act with love, in the best of cases, we will bore ourselves by attracting to ourselves forms of depression and negativity, which in turn will spill over onto others, and in particular, onto the children who are the most defenseless. I fully realize that these things are easy to say because the hard part is in the application. However, let us keep well in mind that he who stops is lost. If one does not give oneself to wanting to make a commitment to personal growth, then believe me, it becomes very difficult to heal an existence lived as a spectator and not a protagonist. If a person is dead inside, he will never be able to act as a living individual, only being able to go from one death to another. Otherwise, those who love life manifest it with always positive actions and events in the sunlight. I feel sorry for others, but only these people will go from one life to the next, always proving themselves in every situation. Our choice. There are a great many young people who are unaware of the pure difference that exists between acting as a living person, being active, or as a living dead person, being passive. All their initial enthusiasm to see things as they wish them to be then fades into being content with current situations without mately accepting the idea that they might be able to make improvements in the society in which they live, starting with themselves and their respectful relationship with the society itself. Warriors of light like Giovanotti, known not only in the field of music, there are few of them because many stop at the first achievements. They do not live situations in communion with the whole of humanity. They do not make themselves ready and willing to go out to meet others, and in defense of the weak by applying non-violence, true justice. The only one who knows how to act always with love, and without making war on anyone. This is not an impossible thing to accomplish. History tells us of an entire nation that achieved freedom from the enemy without the use of violence.